Before we dive in, just know this clip is part of a larger conversation, and it gets real. So take it in and let's talk about it. I want to talk to you about something that's been sitting with me for a while now. And honestly, it hasn't been easy to admit. There came a point where I started looking back at my past relationships and started thinking, maybe I wasn't just unlucky. Maybe I was part of that problem too. And that thought didn't come out of nowhere. See, for a long time, I only saw things from my perspective. I only knew how things felt to me. I knew my intentions. I knew what I thought I was doing was right, but it wasn't until there was space, until there was a break, that I started hearing how I actually showed up. And hearing that was uncomfortable because when you're in it, you don't always see yourself clearly. Sometimes it takes distance. Sometimes it takes someone being honest with you after things cool down. And when I finally heard how I came across, not how I meant to come across, that's when it hit me. That's when I started thinking, okay, maybe there's more here I need to look at. And that realization forces you to sit down with yourself in a different way. For me, I had to accept that in a lot of situations, I didn't always know how to show up in a healthy way. It's not because I didn't care, not because I didn't want peace or connection, but because I was still operating from old survival habits. That realization brings up a lot. It brings up regret, brings up grief, questions about opportunities you might have missed or might have messed up, moments where someone really was trying and you couldn't fully receive it. That part, that part hurts because the truth is, I do know what I want. I want peace. I want emotional safety. I want consistency. I want someone who is genuinely trying, even if they don't get it perfect every time. But knowing what you want and being able to recognize it, appreciate it, and trust it when it shows up, those are completely different skills. And that's where childhood trauma still shows up in my life. When you grow up in chaos, unpredictability, or emotional instability, your nervous system learns a certain pattern. It learns to stay alert, to brace for impact, to expect things to fall apart. So when someone shows up calm, patient, consistent, your body doesn't always recognize that as safety. Sometimes it feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel uncomfortable. I've had to be real with myself about how that played out, how I sometimes misread situations, how I assumed the worst instead of asking questions, how I shut down or pull away, not because I didn't care, but because that's how I learned how to protect myself. Realizing that doesn't mean that I'm broken. It means that I'm becoming aware. And awareness changes everything because now, instead of reacting right away, I can pause. I can check in with myself and ask, is this actually happening right now? Or is this something old that's coming up? That pause matters. It gives me space to see effort where I once only saw a threat, to recognize that someone might actually be doing their best, even if it's imperfect, to allow room for growth instead of expecting everything to feel safe immediately. Healing hasn't been about becoming emotionally perfect. It's been about staying present when my instinct is telling me to run, communicating instead of withdrawing, giving myself and others more grace. I don't have this all figured out, but I am more intentional than I used to be, more reflective, more willing to take responsibility without drowning in shame. And that, folks, is growth. If you're listening and you're in a similar space, realizing patterns, hearing feedback you didn't want but needed, questioning how you show up, I want you to hear this. You are not too damaged to love well. You are not incapable of change. You are not behind. You're learning. And learning, even when it's uncomfortable, is the doorway to something better. One conversation at a time, one realization at a time, and one intentional choice at a time. And that, folks, is enough. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next one. Don't stop the reflection here. Click on the next video and continue the journey with me. Let's keep building.